Welcome to Conversations with the Experts. Today, I'm joined by Steve Cooper and Tara Huberty. So, Tara, I'm going to turn it right over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen. Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm wonderful. We're getting ready for about 6 or 7 inches of snow tonight and tomorrow.
Oh, no, we just had 12 inches. It's crazy. So, can you tell me a little bit about your journey and your recovery and your diagnosis?
Sure. Initially, well, I had been hoarse for a while, and I went to an ENT, and he scoped me, and he said, nothing major. He said, I'm going to send you to a specialist that maybe can help you work on some therapy, and we'll get your voice back. And there's no urgency. And that was in December. So in January, I went to the ENT. I got an appointment. It was for January 2019 at this point with the ENT and or the specialist. And the initial doctor never sent the results of the scope, so they rescoped me, and immediately the ENT said, "I see something I don't like." So I said, "What do you see? Tell me." She said, "I think it's cancer." So this was on January 14th, and I had a biopsy, and it was confirmed as stage 4 um, squamous cell carcinoma on February 25th, 2019. I had a total laryngectomy at Suburban Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland. The surgeon was excellent. Unfortunately, like many places, the a lot of the staff had never dealt with a laryngectomy, so I think it was a learning experience for both of us. Suburban's a Johns Hopkins facility, and they do not do primary punctures. I was initially scheduled for radiation. However, during the surgery, my margins were all 100% clear. They found no, I think they tested, I forget how many lymph nodes, but there was no cancer whatsoever in the lymph nodes. So the surgeon took the case to the Johns Hopkins Tumor Board, and they came back that I would not need radiation, and we'll just watch it. Then in September 2019, which was about 7 months later, I had my puncture and my TEP placed. It took me about 30 days really to get to where I could say words comfortably, not fluently, but comfortably. And then within about 2 months, everything clicked, and I'm able to, converse the way I am today.
So, you're doing pretty great now.
Thank you.
Yes. What advice do you have for anybody that's getting ready to go through the laryngectomy surgery?
My first advice is meet another laryngectomy, whether it's on the phone, whether it's a Zoom meeting, if there's no COVID restrictions, meet them in person. Try and contact a local laryngectomy club, which the IAL has a listing of on their website. Facebook groups, try and connect with various Facebook groups. There's at least half a dozen great Facebook groups. And this is generally understood in the laryngectomy community. If you can meet a laryngectomy prior to your surgery, and I hear this from laryngectomies, I hear this from the medical profession. Typically, the outcome is so much better if you've had the opportunity to meet someone beforehand. It's a life-changing operation. rightfully so with any cancer, it's extremely scary. But meeting other laryngectomies, you kind of say, okay, I got this. With that said, I'm now making my mission to help other laryngectomies, new laryngectomy meetings, run the Zoom meetings for our voice club, and often called upon by my surgeon or my speech pathologist to meet new laryngectomies that are about to have the procedure.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you have any advice for caregivers?
Not being a caregiver, that's
tough.
a tough one. There actually is one Facebook group called Caregivers for Laryngectomies. Caregivers is 2 words. It's for caregivers only. Laryngectomies are not allowed to join. It's a safe space where you can commiserate. But for caregivers, sort of the educational piece of it, trying to meet another laryngectomy, trying to meet other caregivers, that's key. Be ready for a tough road as well as the patient. The closest person to us is our caregivers. And there's mood changes. There's a lot of psychological issues with the surgery. And we tend to take it out on the person closest to us. So, they have the dual role of being the caregiver and also being the brunt of a lot of the tough times. But, hang in there, speak to other people. Please understand that anything that we may say negatively, it's really not directed at you. It's our own frustration. Just the only way we can express it.
Yeah. What would you want medical professionals that are beginning to work with laryngectomies to know about laryngectomies?
First thing that comes to mind is we're all very we've all had experiences with care with medical professionals that do not understand laryngectomies, and there's so much discussion about this doctor didn't do this or this hospital didn't do that. But I want to, for once, reach out to the speech pathologist, the caregivers, the surgeons, the oncologists that are treating laryngectomies, and thank you for the dedication. We're a very small population. There's not a lot of education, and you stick it out. You always feel I'm treated as family. To others in the medical profession, the same thing. There's a lot to be learned on Facebook, even though your education is, years of education and you have other resources. Seeing patient experiences are very helpful. Connect with other laryngectomies. There's, we can help the medical professionals with issues that a laryngectomy deals with every day. Making sure the hospital is prepared for the laryngectomy. But if you're going to be working with laryngectomy patients, it's almost a whole new re-education, I would think. So, not that they're not doing it, but to reach out and learn as much as possible, because the surgery is so unique, the care needed is so unique that there's really not a lot of advanced training.
Yeah. All right. My next question for you. What have you learned about yourself since becoming a laryngectomy? since going through this experience, what have you learned about yourself?
It's an excellent question. I learned one thing is I had a strength I never realized. It's not an easy process. But in my case, and everyone's different, I tended to deal with the issues as they came up. There is a bit of why me, why did this happen to me? That's something I try and keep out of my mind. Don't look back, look forward. Stepping out of your comfort zone, whether it's an electrolarynx, esophageal speech, speaking with a DP, using a whiteboard or written communication. And most psychologically, the procedure, the surgery takes a toll. And one of the best ways to combat that is to just, like I say, step out of your comfort zone, reach out and, do things that normally you're afraid to do as far as socializing or calling and I think by doing that, you'll achieve your goals.
That was an awesome response. Sorry, my trash service just came by and my dog's freaking out a little bit. Did your laryngectomy surgery impact your job at all? Your employment?
That was my biggest fear. I'm in sales. I'm in purchasing. Where at least 50% of my day is in some way has been negotiating. And I felt without being able to speak and present my case or negotiate, that was it. My business would be done. I did task a couple of people to take over. Initially, I had no idea how long this would be. Things went very well, better than, I felt this was it. But I think in some ways things went better with the people that stepped in or stepped up. A lot of the customers knowing what was going on. I don't know if it was sympathy or what, but they were actually much kinder to us when I wasn't speaking to them one-on-one. With time, email, then electrolarynx, and then my TB seemed to put me back in the game. So don't give up, Israel. Have somebody you can lean on, prepare them. And it goes back to stepping out of your comfort zone. When you're ready, contact some of the closest people that you know. They will understand. Our fear is, what will they think? I found what they will think is, how can I help you? And that will be a huge part of the recovery.
Comfort zone is a huge thing. I totally agree. Stepping out makes a big difference. All right. So what is something you were told that you wouldn't be able to do that you can in fact do as a laryngectomy?
I wasn't really told that I couldn't, I wasn't given a lot of information excuse me, I wasn't given a lot of information in advance. So that part of it, I really didn't know what to expect. I think the biggest thing was, and it is in some ways a life-changing surgery, but in other ways, especially as time goes on, I don't feel my life hasn't changed. I can't go swimming, although laryngectomies do. I'm not ready for that. I was worried about the exercising. With time, you're breathing. You build your routine back up. So, although, like I said, I wasn't really told. Well, I learned some things that would be difficult. Blowing your nose, we learn how to do that. Some learn how to blow. They can play musical instruments through their mouth, blow out candles, learn esophageal speech, which is one I'd like to work on. But rather than focus on what people say you can't do, I think it's best to focus on what you can do.
Amen. Amen. So I have one last question for you. It's kind of more positive. How has becoming a laryngectomy changed your life for the better?
I think, several things. One is you learn to appreciate each day. And that's true of any cancer. You appreciate those around you. You appreciate your ability to handle adversity. You appreciate the way friends are willing to help and family. It shouldn't take an illness to learn how much people care for you. And I know a lot of laryngectomies are isolated. They don't have a strong social network or people they can call on. I would strongly suggest that you reach out and find other laryngectomies, Zoom meetings, email, any way possible to connect. But I think the bottom line is that life is precious. And this surgery, let's call it a speed bump. And, once you get over the speed bump, keep moving forward.
Right. You have a lot of life left living, even as laryngectomy. I agree.
Well, I want to thank you both. Steve, Tara, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Steve. And Tara, we'll look forward to many more conversations.
Awesome. I can't wait. It was nice to meet you, Steve.
So I want to thank you and Gail Karin, and I want to thank the IAL for making this format available for everyone to meet other laryngectomies and hear other stories.
That's so important. All right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.